Welcome to Context 101. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. As December 2025 arrived, sweeping changes to American gun laws quietly took effect, reigniting fierce debate nationwide. These changes, though anticipated by some, caught many off guard, leading to a surge of discussions in both public and private spheres. The new regulations have sparked a renewed examination of the Second Amendment and its implications in modern society. In North Carolina, a new law now allows armed personnel in private schools, a move hailed by some as a deterrent, condemned by others as a dangerous escalation. This law has led to a polarized community, with parents and educators divided on the best way to ensure the safety of children. Some argue that the presence of guns in schools creates a hostile environment, while others believe it is a necessary measure to protect against potential threats. For many, these laws are not just legal shifts, they reshape daily life, influencing where people feel safe and how they protect their families. The impact is felt in everyday decisions, from choosing where to live to how to educate children. The sense of security, or lack thereof, permeates through communities, affecting social interactions and public behavior. The timing is critical, as anxieties about public safety are at a high. With recent incidents of violence fresh in the public memory, the debate over gun laws has become even more urgent. People are looking for solutions that can provide immediate relief from the fear that has gripped many communities. Internationally, countries like Australia have responded to gun violence with tighter restrictions, contrasting sharply with the US trend toward deregulation. Australia's approach, often cited as a successful model, involves strict gun control measures and buyback programs that have significantly reduced gun-related incidents. This divergence highlights America's unique and often isolated relationship with firearms. The cultural and historical significance of guns in the U.S. sets it apart from other nations, making the debate over gun control particularly complex and deeply rooted in the national identity. The debate forces us to confront tough questions about freedom, responsibility, and the collective good. It challenges us to consider the balance between individual rights and public safety, and to find common ground in a deeply divided issue. Understanding the specifics of these new laws is essential for informed dialogue. Knowledge empowers citizens to engage in meaningful discussions and advocate for policies that reflect their values and concerns. This video will explore the history of U.S. gun laws, detail the new regulations, and analyze their impact. By examining the evolution of gun legislation, we can better understand the current landscape and the potential future of gun control in America. We'll hear from both supporters and critics, offering a comprehensive look at an issue that continues to define and divide the nation. Their perspectives will shed light on the multifaceted nature of the gun control debate. Let's begin by looking at how we got here. The journey through America's gun laws is a complex one, filled with pivotal moments and landmark decisions that have shaped the current state of affairs. The story of American gun laws begins with the Second Amendment, a brief, ambiguous statement that's fueled centuries of debate. Written in 1791, its words, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed," have been interpreted in countless ways, shaping the nation's relationship with firearms from the very beginning. This single sentence has sparked legal battles, political movements, and cultural divides that persist to this day. Its interpretation has led to a patchwork of laws that vary dramatically by state. Some states have embraced broad gun rights, while others have imposed strict regulations, creating a complex legal landscape that can change dramatically from one border to the next. Major federal efforts, like the Gun Control Act of 1968 and the Brady Act, followed national tragedies, aiming to curb violence through restrictions and background checks. These laws were responses to shocking events, like the assassinations of the 1960s and the attempted assassination of President Reagan, that galvanized public opinion and forced lawmakers to act. Each new law reflected the nation's struggle to balance safety with constitutional rights. Yet, these laws coexist with a confusing array of state regulations. The result is a legal maze, where what's legal in one state may be illegal in another, and citizens must navigate a shifting set of rules, depending on where they live or travel. The 21st century saw the debate intensify after mass shootings in schools and public spaces, prompting calls for both stricter controls and expanded rights. Tragedies like Columbine, Sandy Hook, and Parkland have left deep scars, fueling passionate activism on both sides and making gun policy one of the most divisive issues in American life. Supreme Court decisions, especially District of Columbia versus Heller, affirmed an individual's right to own firearms, emboldening efforts to loosen restrictions. These rulings have set powerful precedents, shaping how lower courts and lawmakers approach gun rights and regulations across the country. Today's new laws are the latest chapter in this ongoing struggle. Legislators continue to debate, compromise, and clash over how best to protect citizens while respecting constitutional freedoms. Some states empower citizens to carry guns in more places, while others push for tighter controls. The divide is often visible in public protests, heated town halls, and the passionate rhetoric of advocacy groups on both sides. This fractured history explains why new rules in states like North Carolina are seen as either steps towards safety or reckless risks. Every new law is debated not just on its merits, but through the lens of a long, contentious national story. Now, let's examine North Carolina's controversial new law and see how it fits into the broader American struggle over guns and public safety. On December 1, 2025, North Carolina enacted House Bill 193, a law that has sparked heated debate across the state and beyond. This legislation allows certain employees and designated volunteers to carry concealed firearms and stun guns on private school grounds, a move that has drawn both praise and criticism from various communities. The law is seen by some as a significant shift in how schools approach security and personal safety, especially in the wake of increasing concerns about school shootings and violence. To be eligible, individuals must obtain written permission from the school director, hold a valid concealed carry permit, and complete a rigorous state-approved training program. This process is designed to ensure that only those who are properly vetted and trained are allowed to carry weapons on school property, aiming to balance safety with responsibility. Notably, the law also extends to religious services held on school campuses, which marks a sharp departure from previous blanket bans on weapons in educational settings. This provision is particularly significant for private schools that double as places of worship, allowing congregants and staff to be armed during services. The bill passed through the Republican-controlled legislature, reflecting strong partisan support. Although Democratic Governor Josh Stein vetoed the measure, citing safety concerns, the legislature ultimately overrode his veto, making the law official despite ongoing controversy. Supporters argue that House Bill 193 is a practical response to the threat of school shootings, giving private schools the option to defend themselves and potentially deter would-be attackers. They believe it empowers communities to take proactive steps in protecting students and staff. Critics, including the governor and many parents, warn that introducing more firearms into schools increases the risk of accidental shootings and could undermine the sense of safety for students and teachers. They argue that the law may create more problems than it solves. This law stands out amid a wave of new state and federal regulations on gun control, but it's House Bill 193 that has put North Carolina in the national spotlight, igniting passionate discussions about the balance between security and safety in schools. As the debate continues, let's hear how both supporters and opponents are responding to this controversial new law and what it could mean for the future of school safety in North Carolina. Supporters, including Republican lawmakers and gun rights groups, defend the law as a common-sense security measure. They argue that gun-free zones are vulnerable and that trained armed staff can act as immediate first responders. The law is optional, with strict requirements for permission and training. For advocates, it's about trusting local communities to make their own safety decisions. Critics, led by Governor Stein and gun control advocates, argue that more guns in schools increase the risk of accidents and chaos. They question the adequacy of training and the psychological burden on educators. Opponents believe teachers should focus on education, not security, and call for fewer guns, stronger background checks, and better mental health resources. For them, House Bill 193 is a dangerous step backward. The divide is deep and growing. While some U.S. states expand gun access, Australia has moved in the opposite direction after a mass shooting in Bondi. The New South Wales Parliament quickly passed laws capping most gun owners at 4 firearms, with exceptions for farmers and sport shooters. License renewals are now required every 2 years, allowing for more frequent vetting. Advocates like Walter Mikak, who lost family in the Port Arthur massacre, praise the reforms as crucial for public safety. Opponents argue the laws unfairly target responsible gun owners instead of criminals. The debate echoes U.S. arguments, but Australia's consensus is clear. Fewer guns mean greater safety. The contrast with North Carolina's new law highlights the deep philosophical divide between nations on gun policy. What does this mean for daily life in America? North Carolina's new law has immediate real-world effects. For some parents, armed staff in schools offers reassurance. For others, it brings anxiety and fear of accidents. These concerns may drive families to switch schools, reshaping communities. Educators face new pressures. Some feel empowered, others conflicted or opposed. Administrators must weigh legal, financial, and ethical risks in deciding whether to adopt the policy. Beyond schools, such laws normalize firearms in spaces once considered sanctuaries, changing how people perceive safety. Signs welcoming guns at schools or places of worship send powerful, polarizing messages. For some, it signals strength. For others, a society growing more fearful and militarized. The ripple effects extend far beyond the classroom, and the political consequences are just beginning. North Carolina's law is set to become a major campaign issue. Democrats will argue it endangers children and promise to repeal it, appealing to parents and educators. Republicans will frame it as defending Second Amendment rights and school safety, energizing their base. The law will be a model for some states, a warning for others. Nationally, the divide over gun laws will deepen, with states moving in opposite directions. Federal candidates will be forced to take clear, controversial stances. The stories that emerge of averted tragedies or accidents will shape public opinion in future elections. The political battle over guns is only intensifying. Experts warn that arming school staff is a complex, high-stakes experiment. Dr. Evelyn Reed, a sociologist, notes that data on arming educators is limited and inconclusive. The key question: do the potential benefits outweigh the risks of accidents, misuse, or escalating conflicts? Armed staff can alter a school's psychological climate, shifting educators' roles and potentially undermining trust. Some predict increased disciplinary issues and damaged relationships. Policy experts warn of a legislative arms race, with states enacting conflicting laws and complicating enforcement. The true impact will only emerge over time, as data on shootings, accidents, and school climate is collected. The normalization of firearms in schools may be the most profound legacy. Our children's schools are now the testing ground for a massive social experiment. The results will shape society for a generation. America stands at a crossroads, with new gun laws reflecting our deepest fears and values. The path forward requires more than heated debate. It demands informed, thoughtful engagement from every citizen. Understanding the details and intentions behind these laws is essential. Whether you're a parent, teacher, or concerned citizen, these changes affect your community. Engagement can mean attending meetings, writing to representatives, or having respectful conversations with those who disagree. Breaking out of echo chambers is vital for finding common ground. The safety and character of our nation depend on ongoing, collective dialogue. The stakes have never been higher. Now is the time for informed, persistent participation in the great American debate.